Welcome to another edition of Cape Ann Today. I'm speaking with Ethan Forman from the Gloucester Times, as we do every week. Ethan, you were up last night with Gloucester City Council Planning and Development Committee. Catch us up with what happened.
Well, it was only 3 hours and they were able to finish off. So what's happened now is the Planning and Development Committee decided to take these zoning amendments into, let's use a big word, tranches.
Okay.
Had to do with conversion. The first had a big thing there was conversions of single family by right to two family. This has to do more with can by right. Can I put a 3-family house by right? Don't have to go to special permit and get a special permit in the downtown in the R5, and which is a high density 5,000 square feet lots. And
so wait, I thought this was happening all over the city in these zoning amendments. Are now they're just focusing on the R5?
Well, there was a focus on R5.
Okay.
Last night there was a focus on the R5, which is what they were talking. We're talking about certain zones in the city, some of the bigger, the R80, I guess, Eastern Point Boulevard, all that.
Okay.
Allow 3 families anyway. So
this was specific. This meeting specifically was around R5.
It wasn't specifically around 5. That was the big zoning push last night. Was one of the amendments they looked at, and also heights.
Mm-hmm.
So they dealt with height allowances, and it's actually really complicated.
It is, yeah.
So suffice it to say, they did do some allowance increases for height allowances for multifamily up to 45 feet downtown, but this is not the final vote. Let's say that. And they were also looking at the downtown, which is, I think, really where a lot of the energy around these amendments has been. So one of the interesting things that I thought when they're discussing the downtown, and they were looking at the number of lots in the downtown. There's like 2,200 or so lots in the downtown, and that core, between 128. And of those, there's only 791 units that conform to zoning.
Mm.
So when they talk about these conversions, you have to have a lot that conforms. If it doesn't conform and you want to put a 3-family on it, you're going to have to go to the get a special permit.
So there's already a natural barrier.
Whenever you're talking about by right, it's only by right if the lot conforms to all the setbacks. And if it doesn't, so right away, the majority of lots in the downtown don't even conform to zoning, so it wouldn't even qualify. They'd have to go for a special permit anyway. I think that's the idea. Is Tracy O'Neill saying, I want to know what my neighbors, if he or she is going to put up a 3-family.
Mm-hmm.
So they were talking about that. If everything stayed the same, the potential for the number of units to happen in the downtown would be 327.
Mm-hmm.
But if they do this 3-family zoning, you get almost about 800 units. So we're only talking about 500 units in a very big downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a lot, but it's over time. So it's not like it's a crush of development. And this has nothing to do with the MBTA transit-oriented development. Nothing. All these amendments, these zoning amendments, happened at the planning board level. Some MAPC involvement with the housing production plan. Greg Kadamatori was adamant about that. The ordinances were developed by the group and the Gloucester Planning Board. This is a local initiative.
Mm-hmm. So can you just summarize so this is the Planning and Development Committee of the City Council, and they are making these recommendations. Last night, they made recommendations to go to the City Council. So what specifically were the recommendations that they decided on by the end of the night?
Well, it's really technical.
Okay.
They're basically recommending the R5 multifamily 3 unit conversions by right.
Conversions, not construct. They can build it. They can already construct a 3.
You have to have a lot that conforms.
Right. Okay.
And then they were talking about increases in height, but only for 3 families.
Okay.
Because that's where they were talking about increases in height to 35 feet. It's 30 feet now to 35 feet for single and 2-family homes. But it doesn't really make sense for a 3-family to be only 30 feet.
Right.
But it would have like a flat roof.
Right.
So that's really where the recommendation was last night in a nutshell. I don't want to get too technical. And then there was also recommendations for 45 feet height for multifamily. And it was most of the votes were 2-1. The counselor from Ward 2 doesn't want to see more intense development in the neighborhood. So I'm going to write a big scorecard about it, but I think I'm lost in some of these amendments, and I gotta be careful. So
what was the tone of the meeting? Was it
I think it was a little bit combative. At one point they were discussing the proposals for 45 feet, and one of the amendments had contained the village business district, and that was actually a Scrivener's error. It wasn't supposed to be in the amendments, but it got in there. And the counselor from Ward 2, Tracy O'Neill, was saying, hey, let's have 45 feet in the village business district. And Gilman, who's sort of representing Lanesville, is kind of saying, no, this was a Scrivener's error. Yeah. So a little bit of that, Lanesville versus the downtown. Yeah. And so you can see, look, Gloucester's a very tightly packed place. People don't want to see heights go up and block their views. I get it. I really get it. So there's a little bit of that last night. I wouldn't say that was a total tenor of the meeting. Mm-hmm. Council O'Neill's she thinks she doesn't want these, houses so close together and overburden Ward 2. I can't blame her. It's hard to find parking downtown in the neighborhoods. And, if I had a view from a window and somebody put up another house, I'd be upset. And if I didn't know that was happening, who knows? So, could see both sides, and that sort of came out last night. Now, listen, this is not the end of the process. The amendments that were talked about last night will go to a public hearing on May 10. The City Council will open the public hearing on Tuesday, but they'll continue it to May 10. However, there's another set of zoning amendments. We talked about the single to 2-family conversions by right. That's going to go to the council. They're going to discuss that. There's already been a long public hearing on that. And they're going to look at the comments that people have sent in and answer any questions.
Is that May 10th in the May 10th meeting?
That's going to be April 26th.
Okay.
So the first round is coming back to voters on April 26th. Now they're not going to take any more comments from the public. They had 3 hours roughly a couple weeks ago. So they're just going to look at the comments, the emails, the petitions. There's been a lot of negative feedback. There's also been some positive feedback as well in those comments, and they'll answer any questions and then they'll probably deliberate.
Great.
And then they'll take the tranche that came last night, that came on Wednesday night. They'll open the public hearing, but they'll probably take it up on May 10th. Those are the two dates. So that all the zoning stuff is coming to a head.
Okay. All right. Great. So
I'm sorry to confuse anybody. If any of the planners are watching, if Greg is Victoria is watching, and I was like, if I got it wrong, just please be kind, because it is very confusing. And I am going to go through the meeting. After I get off here, I'm actually going to go see Julie LaFontaine of the Open Door. I'm going to do a feature on her for her 20 years.
That's a conversation that's easier on the ears than all the zoning, for sure.
Yeah, and I was watching your wonderful videos of the interviews and all the programs there, so that was very informative. So I appreciated that.
Oh, well, we're happy to collaborate with you all the time. So we have one more interesting story. Beach parking in Gloucester is going 21st century.
Yeah, and and it's interesting. I got a call from somebody. I didn't put it in the article. So they're going to have you're going to be able to book your reservation online. So no more beach stickers. So I don't know, there's a fee like $300, $400. I'm not.
This is for non-residents.
This is non-resident.
Residents
Nothing changes for resident. Nothing changes for resident.
Yeah.
You don't have to book. You show up with your resident sticker.
Yeah, right.
It's Friday they'll let you in, right? Get that sticker.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
A resident sticker. I don't know if you live in Gloucester. It's $20.
I know, it's a bargain.
You show up at a beach in Gloucester and pay the daily fee.
Yeah, right.
That sticker.
Yeah.
I encourage everybody, every resident of Gloucester, get that sticker.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Do it online. You can fill out that application and mail it in. They're going to open up the sticker reservation window at the comptroller's office on May 16th. If you want to go to City Hall, you want to do it the old-fashioned way. But you can go online to the city website. It's not hard to find. And, so that's the first issue. Get that beach sticker.
Yeah, but for non-residents, people living in Brookline and they want to go to Wingershik, what do they do?
We're not going to Brookline. We're talking about Beverly, Swampscott,
okay, yeah.
Wingershik, okay? The North, it's really North Shore, you used to be able to buy a Rockport, right? You live in Rockport. Used to be able to buy a non-resident sticker, which was a great deal because if you go there like 10 times, it paid for itself. Especially like Wingershik where the fee during the week is $30.
But you had to sit in that line to get in, and you made
everyone's sitting in that line, okay?
Right?
So now they said, enough. So if you are a non-resident, I guess they were able to figure out how much spaces they need by how many stickers they're selling. But there was no guarantee if you had a sticker or a non-resident sticker, you'd get in. Now, I think this is a great idea. You reserve that space.
Online.
Available online. It's not an app. It's a website called Yodel, and the site will go live on May 18th. You can make a reservation up to 10 days in advance. So you go on that. You go and you pay. Now you're going to pay the daily rate because you're not a resident, and there's a very small, like 30-cent fee to go through Yodel. So it's not a big upcharge.
Mm-hmm.
So non-residents will go. You book that space, you're guaranteed the space. If you don't go to the beach, it's non-refundable.
So you might still have to wait in line, but when you wait in line, your space is there reserved.
Yeah, because you're going to show them a QR code. When
okay.
Oh, are you? Oh, yeah. So if they're turning other people away and you have a reservation, but think about it. If I know I can't get a reservation, if they
you're not going to go. Yeah,
no,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the lines will be much shorter.
If they're putting signboards out on the highway and you're driving down the highway and it says you need a reservation, someone in the car is going to go online and try to get a reservation. It could be a spot, could not be. So this might serve to cut down traffic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great idea. So are other beaches using this?
Well, Crane Beach Estate in Ipswich doesn't use the same system, but they use. You have to get a pass.
You have to reserve online.
Yeah, there's a big signboard as you come into Crane Beach along that long road. Do not pass if you don't have that pass.
Yeah.
And also apparently the state Department of Conservation and Recreation uses Yodel. They were using it for contactless entry during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if the state is using the system, it's probably going to be,
because we don't want what happened to the parking meters to happen to this system, right?
Well, the mayor says could be hiccups. I'm sure people are going to drive to the beach and try to get in like they normally do.
Yeah, yeah.
People will be in line, and they'll be frantically, downloading the website and trying to get in. If the system goes down,
yeah.
You don't have to, it's like not this like cash thing where people coming in, paying the cash. You don't have to deal with that anymore.
Right.
So, I think, it favors people who can plan ahead, but yeah, that's the way it's going to be.
Can I just ask you one last question? Are those parking meters operating yet?
No, I think the thing with the parking meters is they have to integrate the back end system for enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that they're not working. They can take your money. but there has to be this piece for enforcement. The police have a plate reader, can read your plate. Well, so you can enforce this. You can't have somebody going to, you got to have some way for the system to know whether the plate matches what's in the system. That's a whole other system. The enforcement piece, I think, is what might be, delaying this.
It's a software thing.
Yeah, it's like the system to do the enforcement is probably not a very simple system.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you're using a plate reader, and then how is the system going to sit there and alert you to the right information? So I'm not complaining.
I'm not either. I'm checking to find out if I have to have coins in my pocket when I go to Gloucester. That's all.
Heather, you just let me know when it's a little bit closer to the season, because the city could lose a lot of money, not being able to collect downtown. But
well, that's understood. That's understood. I think I funded them pretty well though in the past few years. So, well, thank you so much, Ethan, for everything, and good luck with all that with that planning and development committee report that you're about to write. And say hi to Julie LaFontaine for us.
I will. And again, Gloucester, please be Gloucester planners, people. And I was very tired last night, so
it's so hard. It's so
characterize this in a. I know it's really important to the city,
yeah.
And I don't dismiss anyone who is concerned about overdevelopment. It is a big concern. You want to live your life. It's quality of life. So I understand.
Right. Well, good luck with that, and thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Heather.
Okay, bye.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.